Dun, 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 dun. It won't be pleasant. Thick. Hi, my name's Melissa and I'm a professional soul singer. Today on Soul Singer Discovers... Bonsoir, my dudes! How on earth are you? I hope whatever you've been up to this week has been punctual, arresting, and disarming. Welcome back to another Soul Singer Discovers. Today on Soul Singer Discovers, we're going to be discovering Alice in Chains. But before we do, it's time for another Metalhead Musings. Today's Metalhead Musings comes from Robert CR. What does the CR stand for, Robert? Christian Robes. Catastrophe Wrangler. That would be W. Charismatic Roundhouse. Robert Charismatic Roundhouse says, I love your reactions. Keep up. Shit happens. You're damn right shit happens, Robert. Robert's in fact referring to the fact that I did a live stream at Halloween where I dressed up like King Diamond to go and listen to King Diamond. We were going to listen to the Abigail album live. Unfortunately, YouTube, in their ultimately godlike opinions, decided to take my video down and block me from doing that. It was very sad because I had been very excited about that live stream for so long. But fear not, because we're going to do another live stream. I did sound like Yoda there. We're going to be doing a festive live stream, that's right. In the month of December, we're going to be doing a live stream where you can come and request your tunes like we did the first time we did this. Except we will only be listening to snippets of the songs because I need to avoid getting into trouble. Okay? Because despite the fact, in my humble opinion, I do in fact bring something new to each video, YouTube disagrees with me. Speaking of YouTube, arseholes, some of you may or may not know that most of my videos get claimed by copyright, which is a good thing because it means that artists get paid for every time one of you will view my videos, but I don't. And unfortunately, that's a bit shit. It takes a lot of time to do these videos, a lot of time to edit them. It is just me in my lonesome trying to do my best. So if you would like to support me going forward, you can sign up to my Patreon. That way I can continue to bring you a world full of nonsense. I hope to see you at my festive live stream. Keep an eye out on my community posts for the exact day. Thank you, Robert Charismatic Roundhouse of the Charismatic Roundhouses of New York. Of course we're doing Alice in Chains today, of course we are. But before we get into it, let's go over to Rosie the Robot to find out some facts that I did not know about Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains is an iconic American rock band that emerged from the grunge scene of the early 1990s. With their distinctive blend of heavy metal, alternative rock, and haunting harmonies, Alice in Chains carved a unique path in the music industry. Led by the mesmerizing vocals of the late Lane Staley, the band's music delves into dark and introspective themes, often exploring addiction, isolation, and personal struggles.
Thank you, Rosie. You are, as always, a fountain of knowledge, if you do have a poor attitude.
Who asked you, you asshat?
That's what I'm talking about, Rosie. So, the song that we're going to be doing is Would ? Alice in Chains is one of those bands that just passed me right by. I've heard of them, I've heard their name mentioned a whole bunch of times, but I've never put aside time to go listen to them. Because frankly, I had just other things that I wanted to listen to. But I'm very excited because they do have a very fierce following. So let's do it. Alice in Chains, Would ? I'm going to stop saying it like that. Boop. Ooh. I like that. I like that bass line. Love it already. That little in the background. Nice. Pausing for a second. Yeah, this has got this like trippy dippy 90s grungy vibe, which I really like. I believe this is Lane Staley. Is it Staley? Who unfortunately passed away. But he's got a lot of like natural sort of ba ba ba. He's got all of that lovely sort of natural distortion in his voice. I love that sort of groovy, hypnotic. It's a little bit tie-dye. That when it's a bit grungy is always kind of super stylized to me, and I enjoy it. Probably because there's a lot of like 90s movies that I love that had that kind of vibe. But I like his voice a lot. The harmonies at one point were really beautiful. And the bass feels really nice and thick. Thick. Let's keep going. Whoop. So they're all singing. Great voice. My way. Like nice and open vocal. Pausing. I was about to go into the guitar solo. Yeah, those lovely big open vowels is exactly what you need when you're going to dig in a little bit more and you've got distortion and you are going a bit higher in your register. You want to have those sort of like ba ba ba. It's important if you want to get the lovely resonant sound to what you're doing. I really like his voice. I do a lot. Lovely to see the band singing as well. You know how I feel about back vocals. I want to see lots of people singing together. It's such a human connection thing that if it were a holiday, I'd go on it every single day. I also think there's something really lovely about having that distortion as a colour in your palette to paint with. But also he uses, when he's doing harmonies, he's kind of going la, la, where the volume's changing. Some of it's a tiny bit sharp as well. So there's an artist called Eddie Vedder. I'm sure you guys know who he is. I don't know much about Eddie Vedder, but I do know that a friend of mine sent me a bunch of music of Eddie Vedder playing the uke. I'm sure it was the uke. Everything he sang was stunning, but mostly because everything was just a tiny bit sharp, which gave it the vibe that he was going to start crying at any point, which made it really beautiful. I'm going to have to remember what the hell it was that she sent me. But it's that, like, I don't necessarily think bulletproof intonation is for every genre. Do you know what I mean? I think if you're going to do musical theatre, your intonation better be like karate chop strong. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you want to look at it, because of the music that I do, which is a lot of like soul and funk and occasionally a little bit of jazz, my intonation needs to be fairly rock solid. But the great thing is, intonation that wavers, that does get a little bit sharp, ooh, I can go for it. Flat less so. Being flat doesn't have the same thing to it as sharp does. And I think if you do it very carefully and consider it for the genre and the song that you're singing, it's beautiful. Actually, I'm a liar about the flat thing. Nina Simone used to do it a lot. Nina Simone used to perform, when she would do like live performances and she did a Put a Spell on You, she never looked at any cameras. She would always look down. She'd be singing the song, 'Cause you're mine. It was always sometimes a little bit flat. But because she sang it with such deep, desperate depression, it just emphasised what she was doing and made it even cooler, but even more emotive. If Nina Simone had sang something like Do I Move You with bulletproof intonation, it wouldn't have had half of the impact. Go and look it up. If you know, you know. But yeah, this guy's got that. I like it. Let's keep going. Big articulation. We're having a good time. He's got a good vibrato there. I believe he's probably got some decent melisma in some of the Alice in Chains tunes. I'm willing to believe it. I really enjoyed that. It was grungy, it was trippy. That change up at the end where they changed the harmony slightly, it just freshens the ear up, and all of a sudden it's like, it's like having a ray of sunlight hit you. Me and Levi have an argument about something that Pat Martino, the guitarist, does in some of his performances. The song might be the jazz standard All of Me. I could be wrong on that, don't hold me to that. But in a particular part of his solo, he just goes over the same 3 notes over and over and over and over again, which is stylistically something a lot of guitarists do in their solos, but he does it for like a solid 3 minutes. Like, it's got to be about 3 minutes, just those 3 notes. And it's so, to me, I hate it so much, and I love Pat Martino. But then the minute he breaks from it and starts playing his solos and his other notes, his other vibes, it's like being born again. It's like, oh my god, thank god. It's really clever, and I think people can do it with harmony as well, and it works so wonderful. If you have something that's driving no, I mean, that sounded a bit like that sounded like James Bond. Dun, 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 dun. So if you change it up, it's like a big ray of sunshine. Alice in Chains can stay. Absolutely, they can stay. I enjoyed that a lot. I think Lane's voice is fantastic. I would love to hear him do some of this live as well, because he does sound like he's got some of that really beautiful natural distortion. What a shame that he has passed. We've talked about it before. Creative people just hardwired for early deaths because of things like drugs and alcohol. They feel too much. That's the problem, creative people. What do you think of Alice in Chains? Is this a song that you think I should have done first, or is there something else that you think? What do you think of Lane? What do you think of some of the singers that have come in after Lane to replace him? What do you think about the general vibe? Let me know in the comment section. As always, thank you to my patrons. Thank you to all of you for liking, subscribing, and generally being a bunch of babes. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't, because if you don't, I will find you. It won't be pleasant. Until next time, my dudes, keep watching the skis.